essence and richness of thousands of years of cultural heritage. When you think about Vietnamese food, the first image that people often mention is a steamy bowl of pho. However, the Vietnamese culinary culture is incredibly diverse and shaped by an array of influences from other cultures. Vietnamese cuisine centers around the harmony and artistic presentation of fresh, seasonal ingredients. It is the brilliant balance of colors, aromas, and flavors. With the right composition of warming and cooling elements, Vietnamese food can also be used as medicine to regain the yin and yang balance in our body. It requires patience and dedication. It is artisanal, and it offers an opportunity to bring people with different backgrounds together to celebrate the essence and richness of the Vietnamese.
Cái sự khác biệt của món ăn Việt Nam mình là đồ ăn của mình ít dầu mỡ và tùy món thôi, nhưng mà đa phần cái gì cũng phải dùng nguyên liệu rất là tươi.
Everyone just love it. It's not too spicy and it's not too sour. It's well balanced and it's a good combination of everything.
So we have a mixture of Cambodian Thai on one side, we have the French influence, and then we have the Chinese influence. And I think that's the best mix. The beauty about Vietnamese is even though it's called gà kho tổ, but it could be 10 different moms have 10 different flavors.
Hồi nhỏ thì lúc mẹ nấu ăn thì cứ hay quanh quẩn ở xung quanh á, rồi mẹ chị cũng giải thích là thí dụ cái món này rồi gia vị như thế nào, thì mẹ nói lấy cho mẹ cái muối đi hoặc lấy cho mẹ cái đường đi. Mình cứ giúp mẹ như vậy rồi dần dần tự động mình hình thành ra mình tự nhiên mình biết nấu.
Bác có cái ngộ như vậy, bác đi cái tiệm nào bác ăn cái món đó bác thích á là bác về bác phải nấu cho bác.
When I was growing up, my mom would ask, "What would you like to eat today?" I've always go to bún chả Hà Nội. It's just the taste of childhood, the taste of growing up, the taste of Hà Nội, where I'm from, and I like to bring that Vietnamese cuisine has to offer.
It's very difficult for a young chef when I started back in 1993 to make a dish. I learned a lot from my mother, and I have a lot of teaching from other chefs. First, I learned how to make the food originally as much as I can from that region.
Đã có các đầu bếp từ khắp nơi trên thế giới bắt đầu thể hiện cách hiểu riêng của họ về món ăn Việt. Cho dù đó là một món ăn được chế biến theo cách mà ông bà của họ.
他在做这个事情的时候是神圣的。
没有事情比吃面、喝水、呼吸更重要的事情了。
它本身端上来的时候就是一碗完整的作品，特别有世界记忆力。
Hello everyone, I'm Truk. Follow me to back to the past. For 1,000 years, Vietnamese people lived under the domination of Chinese dynasties. And there are a lot of foods imported to Vietnam by Chinese people, especially noodles. Now Vietnam are more and more developed in their culinary culture. For example, Ho Chi Minh appeared and appreciated in the world's top famous cooking show, MasterChef. And I can see there are lots of Vietnamese restaurants open up front. This is for Saigon restaurant in Denmark. And the Thai restaurant in Korea.
Now my part is the care and development of Chinese restaurants in Vietnam.
Thanks to the economic development orientation of Vietnamese government on expanding relations with foreign countries, that had created a way of Chinese managers and workers coming to Vietnam. The bloom of many Chinese restaurants with variety of scale, style, from small to large and from popular to luxurious. Since years, Chinese Vietnamese people in Vietnam still account for a large number. The poor Chinese dish is also diverse to serve the Vietnamese Chinese fly in Vietnam and the Vietnamese people. Typically, Saigon with many Chinese street and many attractive dishes of Chinese cuisine. And now I will show you the Vietnamese cuisine how to change from the past to present. In the past, ancient Vietnamese cuisine had the development based on traditional cultural values and often focused how to eating to food and nutrition. People less interested in the form of external decoration. Meanwhile, Vietnamese cuisine today, people are more interested in the combination of nutritional ingredients, ensuring fresh ingredients and no preservatives. They also pay more attention to the form of food, how to look more beautiful and attractive.
Hello everyone, now this is a part about the overview of Chinese and Vietnamese food. Now, first I will give an overview about Chinese cuisine. There are 8 culinary schools in China in different regions such as Shandong, Jiangsu, Anhui, Xizang, Fujian, Guangdong, Hunan, and Sichuan. All of these places, as well as the whole Chinese country, have the same things in common. Generally speaking, the first similar thing is that the Chinese consume rice and wheat products as daily staples in their meals. Secondly, people always focus on the bright colors and the decoration of food. Thirdly, there are 9 indispensable spices in their dishes, including anise, red chili oil, ginger, red chili, garlic, peppercorns, soy sauce, vinegars, and scallions. Finally, the cooking methods in 8 regions are mostly stir-fry and stew. Next, we will talk about the different features in each place. Now, we go first with Shandong. Food in Shandong has a strong flavor due to using mostly green onions and garlic. Because of its favorable natural conditions, Shandong is a region dominated by wheat products, such as noodles, buns, and dumplings. Next is about Jiangsu. It is considered as the land of fish and rice. Instead of adding soy sauce, people in Jiangsu use sugar and vinegar to create the sweet and sour taste for dishes. Jiangsu is also the home of Jiangsu fried rice. In terms of Anhui, the flavor of food is salty and aromatic by using ham and rock candy to give flavors for dishes. Its main ingredients are poultry and seafood. Next is Fujian and Sichuan. They have a large network of seafood due to being near the seaside, so a variety of seafood is mostly used in their dishes. Moreover, the standards of dishes in both places must be fresh, light, and not greasy. Xizang is famous for dumped pork, and Fujian is the home of Bunha chums over the world. Turning to Guangdong province, Cantonese cuisine is slightly sweet and salty with the habit of adding various sauces. The main ingredient here is seafood because of the proximity of the sea. Moreover, Cantonese is famous for dim sum, such as scallop dumplings, steamed rice done with shrimp, and so on. Next is Sichuan. It is famous for its spicy and numbing flavor, especially Sichuan peppercorns. It helps to create a distinct aroma and intense taste for Sichuan food. One of the Sichuan specialty is Sichuan hot pot and bamboo tofu. Finally, compared to Sichuan, the spicy taste in Hunan is completely different due to the poorness of chili, not Sichuan pepper. Aroma of Hunan dishes is mild with the common spices of garlic, salt, and chilies. People in Hunan have many dishes of fish and pork.
Hello everyone, my part is about Vietnamese cuisine. And now, I will talk about the similarity of 3 region cuisine, the North, the Central, and the South. Number 1, we already know that rice is an indispensable food source in Vietnamese meals. Number 2 is the frugality in the dishes. Vietnamese people like food that are rich in taste but not too greasy and fast like Western and Chinese food.
Number 3 is that we can see the spices used in small Vietnamese cuisine are fresh instead of packaged pieces, so the food always has an attractive aroma and taste. Number 4 is the way people cook according to yin and yang 5 elements. They attract great importance to the combination of ingredients. For example, hột vịt lộn is soldering ingredient must be combined with the thermal ingredients in laksa leaf to balance the dishes and avoid stomach ache. And in the next part is about the differences between 3 region cuisine. Let's start with the North. Northern cuisine is characterized by the saltification. The ingredients used are mainly red-water aquatic such as shrimp, crab, fish, many kinds of vegetables, and shrimp paste is the signature ingredient. In terms of the taste, people often use pepper, lemon, and vinegar to create a moderate and slightly sour taste for the dishes. Not much spicy, fatty, and sweet like other regions. In general, the food is presented with many eye-catching colors that are really attractive. Especially the inequality in northern cuisine is also reflected in the tray. Each tray usually has more than 10 dishes and is prepared beautifully. Now we turn to the Central. Contrary to the North, Central dishes are boldly spicy, salty, moderately sweet because local people think that the food must be rich in order to be delicious. We know that the Central has harsh weather conditions, so people have the habit of saving in cooking. So the food is often seasoned with the love flavor. The Central dishes focus on the taste instead of the flashy appearance, so the food tends to be red and brown because chili is an essential ingredient in every dish. Huế cuisine is one of the features of the Central. As the Asian capital, local people value each of their dishes, the elegance and refinement. The foods are presented with dipping sauce, which are served separately like the way of serving meal of the old royal court, and they pay the right attention to selection of ingredients as well as from processing to decoration and the enjoyment. Next is about the South. Southern cuisine is characterized by sweetness and simplicity. The typical taste is spicy, sweet, and sour. Therefore, commonly used spices include chili, tamarind, and sugar to directly process the dish. In addition, people also use coconut milk to create fat. The food that conversions of region cuisine and influenced by neighboring countries such as China, Cambodia, and Thailand. In the South, the dishes is made from vegetable, buds, and flour. With a climate strongly influenced by tropical monsoon and dense network of rivers, so the food sources are abundant and diverse. Southern people are sincere and simple, so the food is not picky in decoration, but still attractive by the variety of ingredients, and the way the dishes are modified has a very unique feature. Southerners love to eat sweets, so sweet soup is a very familiar dish in daily life, such as chè bà ba or chè chuối chừng.
Hello everyone, my name is Vic. Today I'm gonna talk about the relationship and the unique features of Vietnamese and Chinese cuisine. Start with the main ingredients. The pivotal ingredients of Vietnamese and Chinese meals are mainly grains of rice and wheat, because the two nations are located in the basins of huge rivers, and agriculture is also fairly developed, so it's completely different from the Western countries where people also consider meat or animal protein as the main ingredient. In terms of taste, both Vietnamese and Chinese cuisine have 5 basic ones, including salty, spicy, bitter, sour, and sweet, so they could make the diversity in the flavoring of food. Vietnamese people have a tendency to eat foods made with rice flour. For example, Vietnam has phở, Huế beef noodle soup, and bánh cuốn. Meanwhile, the Chinese like eating foods made with flour, so China has dumplings and many kinds of noodles like fried duck noodles, water and dried noodles. Besides, Vietnamese people always use rice paper to roll the spring rolls, whereas China often use flour to make dim sum and wonton. The second one I want to talk is the seasoning and the mainstays. About the seasoning, the basic Vietnamese dipping sauce is the fish sauce made of fish that has been brewed with salt for a long time, while the Chinese prefer soya dipping sauce made with soya beans or vinegar by fermenting and incubating for many months. Additionally, the Vietnam's dipping sauce is mainly salty, while the Chinese sauce is sour. About the mainstays, Vietnamese dishes have a fresher taste with a hint of mint, cilantro, or lime, and fish sauce. Vietnamese dishes prioritize the food spices that can be harmoniously combined with each other to form dishes with many different flavors. So you can see easily most Vietnamese dishes go with these ingredients, such as cơm tấm, bún chả, and bánh xèo. On the other hand, Chinese dishes often have a thick layer of sauce, providing a purpose flavoring to the dish due to the use of small soya sauce and cooking oils, compared to Vietnamese dishes. Therefore, Chinese dishes are most distinguished by only one type of taste, without any mixings, and their food are still represented by spicy and bold dishes. Here are some Chinese dishes go with these ingredients like dim sums, Sichuan tofu, and century eggs.
Hello everyone, my name is Hoàng Anh, and now I will tell you about the differences between Vietnamese and Chinese cooking techniques. So now let's find out.
Regarding the cooking methods, Vietnamese and Chinese are quite similar. For example, both Vietnamese and Chinese have cooking methods such as stir frying, deep frying, or steaming. But if we pay close attention, we can notice that there is a slight difference about cooking techniques between Vietnamese and Chinese. That is, Vietnamese people use a minimal amount of oil while cooking, whereas Chinese people use a lot of oil while cooking. This is because Vietnamese cooks aim to reserve the freshness and natural taste of food as much as possible. Hence, Vietnamese cuisine is often considered as one of the healthiest foods in the world. Next is the difference in the use of meat, fish, and vegetables. About meat, Chinese and Vietnamese people have some same dishes, such as roast meat, grilled meat, or braised meat. But only Vietnamese people use raw meat to make nem chua or some other dishes that Chinese people don't have. Besides, Chinese and Vietnamese people both have some different types of fish like fried fish, braised fish, or cooked fish in soup, but use fish to make condiments such as fish sauce like Vietnamese people that Chinese people don't have. And about vegetables, Chinese and Vietnamese people on eat both vegetables or pickled vegetables, but most Vietnamese people prefer to eat raw vegetables than Chinese people. For Vietnamese people, food is not only a material culture but also a spiritual culture. Through cuisine, People can understand the cultural features that show human dignity, the cultural level of the nation, with the morals, rules, and customs in the way of eating. Eating and drinking has its own rules and ways of each person, each family, each community, and the whole society. For example, in the family, eating the same tray and giving variety to delicious food for the elderly and children. We have a code respecting above and giving below that, showing the respect and the love. The daily meal is considered an opportunity for family reunion, and everyone gathers to have fun after a working day. In addition to society, inviting guests to the house shows the culture between people in community. When having the opportunity to organize meals, the owner often makes delicious dishes and cooks a lot to treat the guests. The host often bring food to invite guests and avoid stopping chopsticks in front of the guests, and also have an invitation to eat more when the guests stop eating. The meal is not only fun but also shows the typical hospitality of Vietnamese people. In China, service of expensive and rare food usually shows the respect to the guest. Normally, a formal dinner includes 4 to 6 cold dishes and 8 to 10 hot dishes, and they are served with soup and fruits. Besides that, with Chinese people, they attach great importance to the position of sitting at the table. For example, chairman's chair is opposite the entrance or on the east side is equivalent to banquet honor. This place is usually reserved for the person with the highest status as determined by age, social status, or occupation. Besides that, Chinese people believe that if you eat noodles, the longer noodles build up, it will prove that your life expectancy will be very long. Therefore, when enjoying noodle, you should not bite off the noodles, you need to eat the whole long noodles. So, people in China often eat noodles on their birthdays or other special vacations.
Hello everyone, my name is Linh. Today I will talk about Chinese food on Vietnam.
Now I will give you some information about the influence of Chinese food on Vietnam. The first is the uniqueness of Vietnamese cuisine and Chinese cuisine. For Chinese cuisine, integrity is valued. So even in the presentation of this completeness itself, Chinese cuisine believe that lack of it will bring misfortune. The influence of Chinese cuisine on Vietnam is presented carefully. Special attention is paid to the decoration in the way of seasoning to help people have a delicious and beautiful feeling. One of the positive influences from Chinese cuisine to Vietnam is the sophistication of the main dishes. You know, Vietnamese cuisine and Chinese cuisine have a significant influence because their two cuisines believe that a good dishes require an eye-catching color and a characteristic delicious taste to create outstanding features as well as unforgettable flavors. Now move on to the number 2 is the influence of Chinese cuisine on Vietnam in processing. You know there are many different ways to prepare dishes such as cooking, steaming, roasting, and so on. Each processing method brings a different aftertaste to help customers feel or get a delicacy. Therefore, to have a delicious dish, the focus is on the processing step and the selection of ingredients.
Hi guys, I will introduce to you my part of Chinese cuisine in some specific Vietnam's province. Let me first tell you the information about Bình Dương. With a population nearly 50,000, Chinese population in Bình Dương stands the second largest population. Nowadays, more and more restaurants in Bình Dương are selling popular Chinese food to meet the needs of customers. And the typical one that I want to mention in Bình Dương is the Sea Town chain restaurant, which is where in Ngô Gia Tự, Phú Thọ, Thủ Dầu Một City. And now let's go with us to explore this restaurant so we can find out some point about that. In the next part, I will give you some main point about Chinatown in Ho Chi Minh City and Hanoi. The Chinese, mainly Tocho and Fujia, have lived in Chinatown in District 5, Ho Chi Minh City, from about the 18th century until now. Since the 17th century, overseas Chinese has been residing in Hang Long. Over time, Hang Buôn Street has become one of Hanoi's busiest overseas Chinese cities, and most of them are from Guangdong province. The main reason for this is a place where indigenous people live together and traditional customs are still handed down for generations, as well as food.